Talon drops lucky number 30 as the podium was full of Cardinal medal winners. There are plenty of big wins to celebrate as the love goes all around. Sportsnight is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. And boy, it was a fun week. I mean, it really was. We're going to have some really cool stuff to talk about at the top of the show. But this week in particular, it was a couple of CTN instant classics.
Yeah, it was a great week. We got some winners, and give credit to Neil Highlights Hennon for shuffling the deck a little bit and bringing up the ones where the Cards win.
No question about that.
2 home games, end of the season. Some teams hitting some strides. Yep. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. The girls basketball game from Tuesday and the boys basketball game from Friday were both boys basketball from Tuesday and girls basketball from Friday were outstanding games. Glad we were there for both of them, and we'll have those highlights later in the show.
Yes.
But we start with what everyone involved with Coon Rapids Athletics should be talking about this week. The 8 young men who are headed to state tournaments this week.
This is an exciting time of the year, and boy, they really did a nice job in a couple of sports that we're going to start to talk about here. Just the opportunity to go on and continue, especially for the seniors, your high school career. It's so much fun.
Yeah, 4 wrestlers and 4 swimmers moving on to state tournaments this week. Swimming and diving team had its best finish at the section meet in more than a decade, and as I mentioned, 4 Cardinals moving on to state. Going into the meet, the Cardinals knew they could do something special this year, but what they did was beyond all expectations. They had some record-breaking performances, and they're looking to go even faster this week. Great race in the 200 medley to kick things off right. Cardinals at the bottom of your screen. Matt Struess, Tyler Schultz, Nick Melsha, and then freshman Abba Mayanja in the anchor spot. And they set, or they break, a 30-year-old school record with a time of 1 minute 38.28 seconds. It's second place in the race, where the top 4 teams posted state qualifying times. That's a team going to state. Tyler Schultz wasn't done setting records. He's up in lane 6 near the top of your screen, and he's absolutely explodes in the 200 IM, flying away with a pool and section meet record of 154.67. Another ticket to the state tournament, still 3rd in school history. 500 freestyle, Nick Melsha in lane 5 in the middle of your screen. He has a nice race, and you can see he's all alone as he cruises to the wall in 4:51.21. That's second place behind a new section record set by Duluth freshman. Still, a silver earns you a spot at this week's state meet. Matt Struess in lane 6, and he has a good race. Not as good as the 2 kids from Andover. Noah Rabb set another pool and section record. Mason Smisek less than a second behind. Struess, a good time of 56.28, but he has to settle for 3rd and just misses qualifying. He gets to the podium, and it's the 3rd fastest finish in school history. 3rd, sometimes good enough. Check out this race. 100 breaststroke. Tyler Schultz is at the bottom. He sets a school record with a 57.57. That would be a pool and section record, too, if it weren't for the 2 guys who touched before him. The top 4 guys had state qualifying times again. Schultz is going in 3 events, 4 Cardinals, flying high to the U of M with high hopes.
That's so exciting, and and reading Coach Donaldson's email, you could tell he was giddy. He was pretty excited about the events and what took place and the results, and he should have been. This is congratulations to those 4 young guys, and they're an opportunity to go to state and continue swimming this season. It's just good stuff.
Do we have the graphics? Some other good finishes that we should definitely mention. Nick Melsha just missed qualifying in the 200 free, finished in 3rd. Matt Struess was 6th place in the 50 free. Jack Zimmer 5th place off the board with a 3:44.45. Mayanja in the 100 fly finished 6th place, and in the 7th place in the 100 breast. Mayanja, just a freshman. He's going to state as part of that relay team. There you see it. Tyler Schultz qualifying in 2 events, Nick Melsha in 1. Both are part of the relay team as well. Matt Struess and Abba Mayanja will be there with them as well. Best of luck to those guys as they try and do some more impressive things. The Schultz family now owns the 100 breaststroke.
They own the pool. I mean, they own the pool.
Well,
pretty much.
if Tyler wants to not write his name up there as much as his sister, he's got a pretty impressive guy to try and track down in Tony Swanson.
Yes.
But their family has both sides of the ledger. That's pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff happening on the wrestling mat as well. Unfortunately, not able to get a camera up to Cambridge Isani for the individual section tournament, where the Cardinals had 7 guys still going on Saturday with a chance to go to state. They had 3 guys in championship matches, 4 more in third-place matches. Jacob Linville, Eric Ramos, and Riley Hargrave all finished with 4th place finishes. Enoch Medima and Jaden Van Vickel finished 5th place in their weight classes, and Nick Lattery finished 6th at 132. But look at this, 4 guys moving on to state. 2 section champions in Gavin Layton. Not a huge surprise. 3-0 with 3 pins, though. A very impressive way to get your way to state. And he's just a junior still. Dalen Jones, also a junior, undefeated to his championship at 152. Demetrius Seals, he lost the championship, but then got a pin in the true second. And Alex Kowalczyk battled back, won the 3rd place match, won the true second. He's going to state for the 2nd straight year at 145. Very cool to see 4 names on that board.
Yeah, it's excellent, and that's so exciting for those 4 young men. And obviously, Gavin, who had not lost a match all season long, and got 3 pins in that section tournament going to state, but along with those 3 other young men. And Kowalczyk, I know, was also rated in 145 as well in the top 10. So pretty nice representation for the Cardinals coming up in the state wrestling tournament.
And I got a chance to talk to Alex the weekend before the tournament and said, what are your thoughts? I know you're the only ranked guy at 145. He said, I'm going to make it back to state. He was very confident about it.
He should be.
And for him to do that, as great as it is to go as a champion, I almost think it's cooler to go through the back half and still come out and finish as a true second. There's something special about that. It says something about the struggle you went through to get there. He's been there before. All 4 of these guys, it's going to be very exciting to see this week at the XL Energy Center. And we will have a camera there, so we will have highlights for you next week on Sportsnight.
Whole lot of grit. Well, the boys' hockey season is over after the Cardinals made an early exit from the section playoffs last week. As the ace seed, the Cardinals had to start against top-seeded Blaine in the quarterfinals. The Bengals dominated their only meeting early in the year, outshooting the Cards 55-3 in a 9-0 game. The Cardinals hoped they could do better this time around. Bengals pounced on them right away. First shot of the game, Mason Street with a one-timer that finds a way through Connor Wise. Blaine on the board just 19 seconds into the contest. Puck in the Cardinals' end most of the night. Bengals pushed the lead on the power play. Carson Reichel's out of the corner. Jack Ryman fires it home from the top of the crease. Second goal of the game there. Bengals in control, but not running away until late in the period, that is. Speed into the zone, 3 strong. They work it across to Hunter Hansen at the back door. He tips it home, and it's 3-0 Bengals. That sparks something off the ensuing faceoff. Bengals dump it into the corner. Win a race coming up here as they get it into the corner. They're going to centering pass for a wide open one-timer. No chance for Wise. Ryman's second of the game made it 4-0. It was 5-0 after the first. The Cardinals able to keep it closer after that. Bengals added 2 in the second on their way to a 7-0 win. Connor Wise made 54 saves, including 39 of 41 after the first period. The Cardinals had 12 shots on goal for the game.
Yeah, Connor played very well after the first period. A little bit of a defensive lapse, as you saw after, right after that third goal. It felt pretty good up until that. If you take away the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of the first period, the Cardinals played with them for most of that game. Granted, third period was running time, and we saw a little bit more of the third and fourth lines. But it was definitely an improvement over what happened against them early in the season.
Yeah, a tough season all around for the boys hockey team. And you and I were texting a little bit from the game, and you were giving me score updates and a few highlights here and there. And I thought, well, you know what? It isn't as bad as I thought maybe it would be. And because they did play them, I believe, early in the season, correct? They played Blaine originally.
Oh yeah, like the first week of the season, and it was rough. It was better this time around. Not as well as they would have liked. They would have really liked to have gotten a goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, it's the way it goes. That Blaine team is pretty good, and they are in the section championship. The number 1 seed beat Totino Grace 3-0, I believe, actually, was the final. Maple Grove beat Centennial 4-1. And Maple Grove Blaine, no surprises in the section.
Should be a good one.
Everybody held to their seating, and it should be a great game at Aldrich Arena on Thursday night. Gymnastics section meet was a little more than a week ago. We did not have the results in time for last week's show. We do have them for you now. Here's a look at your top finishers in each event. In the vault, it's Aaliyah Vu in 16th place, Cassie Rushmeyer 27th, and Kalia Jones in 31st. On the bars, Aaliyah Vu in 13th place. That's the best finish for any Cardinal in any event at sections with an 8.6. Kalia Jones in 32nd. On the beam, it was Aaliyah Vu, then Rushmeyer and Dieters. On the floor, no surprise to see Rachel Dieters with the best performance, 18th place with an 8.9. Aaliyah Vu right behind her. And then Reese Ireland in 33rd place. Aaliyah Vu finishes 15th overall, or all around, and Rachel Dieters finished 22nd, but no one able to advance to the state tournament.
Yeah, I know the girls, the gymnastics squad wanted to, score the 130 as the season progressed. Unfortunately, they didn't get there, but they had some pretty nice moments during the season.
Well, they were nicked up a little bit from injuries. They did hit that 130 once just before the end of the year, just before the holiday break. Never able to get back there, and they're going to lose some pieces, but we'll review that much more length in a couple weeks when we get ready to wrap up the
Not quite
season.
Yet. We got some fun stuff left.
Well, the boys basketball team has just one game left in the regular season. They will host the Rogers Royals on Friday. They've been busy since our last show, including 3 road games in the last 4 days. But last week started with a visit from Andover on Tuesday. Cardinals were looking for some revenge after losing to the Huskies by 11 in their first meeting, and this one turned into an instant classic on CTN. Tight game throughout, late first half. Andover missed 3-pointers off the mark. MJ Galama off to the races with the rebound. He finishes with a two-handed jam. Still, Andover takes a 2-point lead to the half. Cardinals able to erase that early in the third. Jackson with a wide-open look. His 3-pointer put Coon Rapids back in front, and really has had a team-high 14. Andover gets the biggest lead of the game for either team. Jacob Ani's 3 from the top of the key put the Huskies up 47-40 with 6.5 minutes to play. Cardinals battle to tie it late, though, and they take the lead in the final minute. Lucky Morange with a great drive down the right side. That put Coon Rapids up 53-51. Andover answers with freshman Samuel Musungu. Great drive at the other end. He gets the roll, ties it. 13 seconds remaining. Cardinals trying to win it before the buzzer, but they're held to a desperation attempt, and this one's going to overtime. Jaden Palmer leads the charge in the extra period. Great job jumping into the passing lane. He scores and draws the foul. Cards score the first 6 points of overtime number 1, but it wasn't over. Musungu comes up with another huge basket in the final seconds. Look at this bounce off the front, the top, the back, and then to the bottom, and that forces us to a second overtime. Cardinals set the tempo again in the second extra period. MJ Galama taking it right at the defense, scores off the glass. He also had a game-high 14. We go down to the final minute. Cardinals up by 2. Andover looking for the lead. Kopetsky's 3 rims out. Cardinals get down court quickly. Though to Lucky, to Palmer for the bucket and the foul. Palmer had 8 of his 12 points in the overtime. And the Cardinals get a dramatic 69-64 win in double overtime.
Yeah, it was a fun game, quite obviously. And talking to Coach O at the break, I believe they were down by 8, I think, at halftime, if I'm not mistaken. And he said, we're fortunate actually just to be 8 points. And the fact how they reacted after the second half. And then even after they tied it up in that first overtime, they could have been down. They thought they had the win there, but able to really get off to a good start and control that second overtime and get the win.
It was a lot of fun. So glad we were there and got to see that victory. Unfortunately, their final road trip of the season, which started on Friday night, did not get off to a great start as they lose to the Blaine Bengals 69-62. That's 2 games against the Bengals where they've been really tight and just come up short. Would have loved to have split the season series with the crosstown rival. Lucky Morange, 21 points. Talon Elmy, 17. Jackson Aurelius had 10. And then on Saturday afternoon, they were up North taking on the Greyhounds from Duluth East. They lose to the Greyhounds 66-56. Talon Elmy had 16 points. Jackson Aurelius 11. Jordan Doe had 10.
Well, the boys opened the final week of the regular season with a trip to Elk River to face the Elks on Monday. The Elks have really struggled this season with just 6 wins, but they were coming off a Friday night win over Armstrong. The Cardinals, coming off those back-to-back losses, were looking for a rebound before the postseason. Cardinals were fired up for their last road trip of the regular season, but the Elks charged to a big lead early. Liam Carr, with a look from the corner, hits a three-pointer, and it's 10-0 Elk River early. Well, the Cardinals have an answer on the outside. His name? Talon Elmy. He caught fire in Elk River and does nice job working the ball around the perimeter and getting it from outside. The three from corner was just the start. How about cheating off the dribble? Elmy drives into traffic, scores the pretty layup. Cards back within 1. Crazy play coming up right here. Elks throw the pass away. Aurelius saves it along the sideline. Lucky punches it over to Elmy. He tickles the twine again. Had an 18-point first half, and the Coon Rapids Cardinals are up 41-39 at the break. Cards taking flight in the second off the inbound. Palmer to MJ Galama in the corner. He sticks it from the three-point land. The lead is 8. MJ had 17 on Monday night. There were 4 Cardinals in double digits in Elk River. Jordan starts and finishes this play. He gets it back, good fake to find some room, gets the midway jumper there. Defense and transition play so important for the Cardinals. Was working against the Elks off this three-point miss. MJ Galma behind the defense with the two-handed jam. But Elk River makes it interesting at the end. Watch what happens after they cut the lead to 4. Great work to get the basket, but Sam Erickson throws the ball away. That earns him a technical. Talon Elmy is going to seal it from the line there. You see the technical. Going to come get the line, get an opportunity, gets a little roll on the rim. That nets his 30th point of the game, a season high for any Cardinal players, and the Cardinals are victorious, holding on for the 87-82 win.
It's a big win at a big time for this team.
Well, as Coach, we were texting a little after the game. He says it's the first win in Elk River in forever. So it's been a long time since they got a win up on the road in Elk River, and as you said, nice win as they're getting ready for their last week of the regular season before section playoffs.
Well, and especially when this is a team that has come up on the short end of a lot of close games recently to get a couple of wins in those close games. Unfortunately, there were the 2 losses in between. But they do wrap up the regular season at home against the Rogers Royals on Friday. And Howie,
we'll be there.
Girls basketball team wrapped up its regular season last week with 2 games against the top 2 teams in their section. On Tuesday night, they traveled north on Hanson to take on Andover. Huskies were hot with a 9-3 record since early July. Since early January. I'm already ready for summer.
Yes, you are.
But they weren't running away with any of those wins, and the Cardinals knew if they kept it close, they had a chance. Low-scoring game, especially in the first half. Cardinals get the start they were hoping for. Nicole Post in the post turns and scores. Cards up 6-0. Cardinals have a height advantage against most teams, and they use it against the Huskies. Post again shooting over the defender for the basket. She had a team high 11 against Andover, but the Huskies pull in front before the break. Sydney White finds some room and hits a three-pointer. Andover up 19-15 going to the locker room. Cardinals chipping away at the lead early. Pass inside to Jenny Ntabwe. Behind the defense, she gets 2 of her 9 in the game. But the Huskies building on their lead and their strong outside shooting. Alyssa Girth drops a long-distance bomb from the left wing. Andover up 28-19 at that point. Cardinals down but not out, and they have some shooters too. Good rotation to get Ella Georgie an open look up top. Coon Rapids making it interesting to the very end. Into the final minute, Kylie Hetwer hits another three-pointer. This one made it a 2-point game with 39 seconds left. Cardinals forced to foul, and unfortunately for them, Huskies able to secure the win from the charity stripe. Cardinals lose a close one, 47-40.
Well, it's not often we get an instant CTN Classic, not once, but twice in 1 week, and that's what we had last week. We were at the Fieldhouse on Friday night for the girls' final home game of the season, hosting Blaine. The Bengals beat the Cardinals by 26 first time around, so they're hoping to at least keep it close. They did one better. They ended the win with a win. Coon Rapids scored the first 6 points of the game, and after Blaine came back To tie, Ella Georgie put her team back in front with one of her three-pointers. The Bengals would steal momentum midway through the first. Caleb Ward jumps the pass, takes it alone. She had 15 of her game-high 21 in the first half. Bengals lead 29-21. Cardinals start fast in the second. Georgie with a team-high 16, including the Cardinals' first 7 points in the second. Cards able to take the lead 38-37, but Borg gets it right back for Blaine. The hard work underneath. But it wasn't going to last, as you saw Kalala to Jenny and Tomway underneath, had all of her 13 in the second. Kalala again, this time taking it to the rim herself. She gets the basket and the foul. Her three-point play made it 54-47. No lead is safe against hot shooting Blaine. Allison Terry's three-pointer made it a 2-point game, and the Bengals tied it with just over a minute. Grace Henneman unties it with this drive. Turns out to be the game winner. Cardinals hold on for the 60-57 win. That was a close one at the end, too. But they got the W, and that was exciting and great for the program, Joe.
Yeah, it would have been very interesting if we had gotten to overtime, because it was very close to being like a three-quarter three-pointer. But what a cool story, because a 26-point loss is to turn around that into a win is huge. Going in, they felt that they'd been playing a little bit better,
yep.
And Wico thought, maybe, we just want to keep it close. They come away with a win. And for it to be tied in the final minute, and your lone varsity senior on senior night gets the basket
Very
that
fitting.
gets you the win over your crosstown rival?
How fitting is that?
It's Hollywood scripted.
It's meant to be.
And it was here on CTN.
Yes, we've got the the play we're writing the play version of that win. It's coming to Coon Rapids Cedar soon.
It was very cool, but another great storyline is these two teams are going to see each other again.
Yeah, that's the exciting part.
Tomorrow, on Wednesday in this quarterfinals, Blaine dropped to the number 2 seed with that loss and an Andover win. Andover hopped over them to take the first seed and the bye. So that means Coon Rapids will go to Blaine on Wednesday. And Howie
will be there.
Of course, you can't see that live.
No, you cannot.
It'll be here at midnight. Forest Lake, the number 3 seed, gets Duluth East, and Cambridge Isani will host Anoka in the quarterfinal round.
You think the Bengals are going to be a little testy to start that game? You think they might be a little worried as well?
I think they will be a little worried. I think they will be very fired up.
Yep.
Cardinals have to be ready to come out with some high energy and high intensity, because that's what the Bengals are going to bring. I guarantee this did not sit well with them over the weekend.
Oh, no, absolutely not. And the best thing that could happen to the Cardinals was for them to beat the Bengals and now go back and play them, because they know they can beat them. They just came off a win. So is it going to be easy? Absolutely not.
No,
it's
but
at Blaine.
But yeah, it's so great because it puts a little concern, as you mentioned, in the heads of the Bengals, and it should give the Cardinals some confidence that, hey, you know what? We can beat them, but they've got to come out with a lot of energy and be fired up, because Blaine is going to be on the attack.
It'll be interesting to talk to Bengal coach Bruce Stewart about, what he talked to his girls about after the loss and what they did to prepare for this game, because you go at both ends of the spectrum. A 26-point win on their home court to a 3-point loss just to end the season doesn't sit well with the squad.
Well, and they similar, talking to Coach Bruce before the game, he was saying, that the last couple of games, they didn't feel like they were clicking as well as they would like, and they were hoping to get some things worked out in Friday night's game to be ready for the playoffs, and it still didn't click. So it'll be interesting to see. It should be a very fun rematch. Set the DVR.
Well, I want to see all the Cardinal fans there, because it's not live. Fill that other side of the gym, Cardinal fans. We want to see you in droves.
It would be great to see a huge turnout at Blaine for the Cardinals, and just to see that. I think I really like the way their gym is set up. It's a very good atmosphere, and especially if you get 2 good crowds. We're hoping for that on Wednesday night.
Joe was talking before the game, for every Cardinal fan there, he'll do a cartwheel. So we'll make a count. We'll get somebody to cart. Hey, if there's 100 fans, 100 cartwheels.
I'm sorry, but that goes against the station's insurance policy.
Oh.
But that is going to do it for this edition of Sportsnight. There it is, a look at the upcoming schedule. Girls basketball playoffs, number 7 seeded Cardinals at number 2 Blaine. And then the boys basketball team finishing up the season hosting Rogers. And then we will follow them into the playoffs. And very soon, We'll be seeing baseball and softball and even lacrosse on that schedule.
We'll be outdoors. I'm
We
so excited.
will.
So excited.
But that's going to do it for this edition of Sportsnight. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us, continuing to support everything we do here at CTN for the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro. I'm Joe Young saying good night.